Okay, let's be real. The entire world of creation is changing at lightning speed. And you know who's holding the pen? AI. Everything that felt like science fiction just a couple of years ago, well, it's sitting on our desktops right now, completely changing the game for all of us. And I love this quote. It's a Nigerian pidgin expression that basically means the future has arrived. It's not just a cool saying, it perfectly captures this feeling that we've just leaped over some massive hurdle. We're not waiting for the future anymore. We're living in it.
I mean, think about it. What used to take massive teams, crazy budgets, and months, if not years, of hard work, it's now becoming doable for pretty much anyone with a good idea. It's not about who has the most money anymore. It's about who has the smartest tools and, more importantly, the right mindset.
So, to really see how far we've come, we're going to dive into this huge head-to-head showdown. 16 of the biggest names in AI video generation were put to the test, all to figure out who's the real deal and who's just, hype.
Now, to make sure this whole thing was fair and frankly manageable, the entire experiment went down on a platform called OpenArt. This was key because it let them test everything side by side in one single workflow. No jumping between a dozen different subscriptions and interfaces.
And here's the most important part for a fair fight. Every single AI model got the exact same prompt. And it was super specific too. We're talking a marine officer, a wooden ship, that bright midday sun, sails billowing in the wind. They even specified the camera movement. This way, you're truly comparing apples to apples.
So, the big question, how did they do? Let's get into the rankings. We're going to start at the bottom with the ones that kind of flopped and work our way up to the absolute champions that are showing us what's next for AI video.
All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and start with the F tier. For now, these are probably the models you're going to want to skip. And honestly, the quality gap between the best and the worst, it's huge.
So the models that ended up down here, they just couldn't hang. They all struggled with a lot of the same problems, laggy or just weird-looking motion, flat textures, and just a total lack of realism. The bottom line is, the stuff they kicked out was pretty much unusable for any serious project.
But enough of the bad news. Let's flip the script and jump all the way to the top of the list. Let's talk about the S tier. These are the heavyweights, the ones that are pumping out stuff that looks genuinely breathtaking, like totally cinematic. First up, a model like OpenAI's Sora 2. This thing is an absolute game changer. I mean, the realism is just wild. The motion is buttery smooth, and get this, it even bakes in sound design, which adds this whole other layer of immersion. The consensus is pretty simple. It looks absolutely stunning.
Okay, next in the top tier, a model like Klang 2.5. And what's really interesting here is the balance it strikes. You're getting that cinematic, movie-like quality and super high realism, but at a price that makes it one of the most accessible top-tier models out there.
And you can't talk about the best without mentioning Google's Veo 3.1. This model is all about creating a scene you can get lost in. It's not just that the visuals are incredible, and they are, especially the lighting and motion. It's the sound design. The audio is so good, it just completely sells the whole experience.
So here's a quick look at the final scoreboard. You can see the clear winners up in the S tier and the ones to avoid down in the F tier. But look at that A tier in the middle. This is super important. It's packed with really strong contenders like Kants and Pigsverse 5 that are putting out great results and getting better every day. This chart really shows you just how wide the quality range is right now.
But when you look at all these tools and rankings, it brings up a much bigger question. Yeah, the race to build the best AI model is cool to watch, but that's not the real story here. Not at all.
So after all of that, you're probably thinking, okay, just tell me, which one is the best one? Which one should I learn? And that's a fair question, but it might actually be the wrong one.
Because here's the thing, the real punchline. The disruption isn't the tools themselves, it's the change in mindset that they demand. AI isn't coming for your job. What it's really doing is setting a new standard for your job. The people who are going to get left behind are the ones who refuse to adapt and grow with this technology. And that leads us to what is easily the single most powerful skill you can have right now, AI literacy. And this isn't about getting a fancy degree or some certificate. It's about having a real, practical, hands-on understanding of how to work with these systems.
So what does AI literacy actually look like? Well, you can break it down into 4 key skills. First, you've got prompting. That's the art of actually talking to the AI, knowing how to ask for what you want. Second is automating, seeing the boring, repetitive parts of your job and handing them over to the AI. Third, analyzing.
This is huge. It's about looking at what the AI gives you and thinking critically about it, not just taking it as gospel. And finally, building, using all these skills to take your ideas and turn them into something real.
Look, the tools are here. The skills you need are becoming clearer every day. The door is wide open for anyone who's ready to jump in and start making things.
There's another great Nigerian pidgin phrase that says, "No dulling, not forward only." It means don't be slow, don't hesitate. The only way to go is forward. This is not the time to sit on the sidelines. It's time to move.
And that brings us right back to where we started. The future no day come, we day already live 'em. The future isn't on its way. We are living in it right this second. This whole revolution is happening now, in real time. So really, there's only one question left, and it's the one that matters the most. With all these incredible tools at your fingertips and the right mindset to steer them, what are you going to create?